Have you ever been around a little brother or sister who is singing all the time? Well, I have a 4-year-old daughter named Amy who walks about singing all day long. When she runs out of songs, that doesn't matter. She makes up her own words and music to others. It's enough to drive a normal person like me crazy. In fact, I can hear her singing right now some song in the backyard. Yesterday, she sang for 50 miles in our little car while we were driving to the nearest city from where we live. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? I don't know if you have ever noticed, but there are not too many verses to that song. So that's called repetition, brother. For 50 miles, I think I know that song forwards and backwards. I know one thing for sure. I'm not afraid of the big bad wolf anymore. About the only thing I'm afraid of now is Amy singing the song again. Oh, no. Well, that's exactly how our Pilgrim and Puritan forefathers sang. They sang over and over the same songs. In the early days, they had no instruments. Later they had a harpsichord and perhaps a guitar, organ, or violin. Today when you go to church, you have all kinds of instruments, don't you? Even some large church choirs. Have you ever noticed that almost everyone has a hymn book to sing from? In the early days, there were very little psalm books. So in 1640, a man by the name of Stephen Day printed the first book in America at Cambridge, Massachusetts. It was a hymn book called the Bay Psalm Book because it was made up of psalms that they used to sing. The early book paper was made from rags and cloth, but later ground-up wood paper took over, just like the paper we have today. The cover was leather, and that also later became cardboard and cloth, just like the ones we see today. Since not too many poor folk could afford a hymn book, every Sunday a man would stand before the church people with his hymnal. He would read the psalm that they were to sing. The songs were always scripture, so that way they would learn a scripture by singing them over and over. Let's pretend that we are in a New England church. And if you feel like following along, you can sing this song just like they did back in 1640. The song is called Windsor, and it's taken from Psalm 108. The choir leader would rise to his feet, and then he would read, God, my heart prepared is, and also my tongue so. I will advance my voice in song, and giving praises also. He would read this several times, and then the choir, or if they didn't have a choir, generally the congregation would repeat the words over and over. And then finally, he would sing the song to teach them how it goes. God, my heart prepareth is, and also my tongue so. I will advance my voice in song, and giving praises also. Now you try it. God, my heart prepared is, and also my tongue so. I will advance my voice in song, and giving praises so. Today, we do much the same thing, don't we? We sing scripture songs over and over, and that's how we learned them. Why don't you take some time right now with your family, or if you're by yourself, and count to see how many songs that you've learned that are scripture songs, and that you've memorized the Bible by doing so. That'll be kind of fun to see how many verses you've learned. Lord bless you richly.